So to begin with, I thought we would start at really framing the issue. And this is more around the societal issue. And I'd like to quote Marilyn Carlson Nelson, who is the chairman of the board of Carlson. And I know we have representation from the Renaissance Hotels here today. So thank you for Carlson's leadership on this issue. She truly is a pioneer in this area. But she said that what we do to our children, they will do to society. And I think that's very powerful. And so I'd like to start with Katherine to just frame the issue for us around what is happening with our children, particularly right here in Chicago.
Great. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'd also like to thank Womenetics for bringing this panel presentation together today on this very important topic. I think I'd like to just start by telling a story about a local case that occurred right here in our own community here in Chicago to kind of demonstrate the issue. And I'm going to change the young woman's name and a couple of the facts just to protect her privacy. But I'll call this young woman Mary, who was actually a very little girl when she first came to the United States. She was told, her mother was very sick. She was from a country in Western Africa. She was told by a very good friend of her mother and her family that she could come to the States and live the American dream, have an American education, have nice clothes, educational as well as long-term economic opportunities if she came and occasionally babysat. She came to the United States when she was 10 years old, and for the next 4 years she was essentially a house slave. She cooked, she cleaned, she took care, this small child took care of two small children who were an infant and a toddler, full-time, around the clock. The two places that she slept in the home were in the children's room in between both babies, or in the basement between a washer and dryer. She never saw a doctor, she never went to school, she never lived the American dream, and she had no more contact with her family. She was told she was an illegal alien. She was told that she had no rights in this country, and she was told that she had no other options or opportunities. After several years of enduring physical, verbal, and sexual abuse under these very extreme and terrible conditions, she began watching a little bit more television and learning a little bit of English as the children were old enough to go to school. And she saw a program, interestingly enough, on kids who run away from home, and she thought, I'm going to do this. I can't take this anymore. And she decided one day to run away, and she got on a bus here in Chicago and said, please take me back to my home country. This is how isolated she was, exploited for labor as a domestic servant in this very nice home that she was working in. And so the bus driver said, I can't take you back, so I'll let you ride the bus for free. And on the bus, someone offered to help her, and this person did not help her. And for the next 2 years, she was sexually exploited on the streets of Chicago by various individuals before she came to the attention of service providers. So this is just a real life example, a real case study of the different types of exploitation that we'll be talking about today in terms of labor exploitation, sexual exploitation, and this is a situation where someone's body is being commodified, where someone else is financially benefiting from the services of another person, again, whether for labor or for sex. In this case, it was both. And when we think about kind of the cost to our society, thinking about, this is a child that was working in kind of an informal underground economies, whether it's sexual exploitation or labor exploitation, kind of what she could have contributed, and she has. There's actually a positive side to the story, which I could talk about later in terms of the outcome. But for thousands of children and individuals, not just children, men, women, and children who are in these conditions across the world, what has been taken away from them, also what they could contribute to civil society if they had the opportunities that we all have here in this room.